Memo kwa baba Adkwart Studios nyame wo hira se na domine no mobro hu nti no oti apostle Dr. Samson Adkwart Studios apo Nyankopon ya dom akwasiada da ebei eye mawoda me birthday na madi efie maako adioson baako nyame ahira me o nyame ahira me enemi mom and the Nyankopon ya say so ati. Just by the way, me birthday ada hu hia me pa. Yeah. Me dey asem bi ebrel. Na asem ni nyina ne say dako na me kasafa. Na kwa me bedi akwen asem. Na me come statement we say senka obi ebie nyuma na me nimo na padifo so obi nimo a obi kire. Senka wabi ebie nyuma ti se Kennedy ya Japona kebeboa. Hey, me anu si ya pe and obi frame me free London. No say apostle nyame nshira de wo kan. But bomodian na follow no na hwehwe ne niamem. Na obehu se e wo mu se onyini na waye niema pa. Waye niema pa. And I'm a shassie. Dear, I must say, my bed down a devil boni no. Nasini. And I'm here, say, me follow now, and near may be a horror more. Yana a Jimmy himself. Sagana ni, Tigana ni, and I away, dear, mommy and teacher man. Sagana ni, and a nemranti brim, what to me, a bob bread to say, ya. Mommy and teacher man. Not you say Obusia ni a. I got also any person cool, can't Cassentiano. Eh? When you say Oba now or fasting, I would never go. I never fast, but why a gun any epic gun a year. Enti 7 inch ya Dakurano. Nase owo adwin sei ewo ne tirimu o yante Ghana hanu na yati se kumipreku papa kroya odi animu kan se kumipreku yenhwe obetena so yi nanka taxi cry de nka Ghana nka yanti din bi enne obi di nieme fra buruchire eba me se me wa buruchire na me yusu ka bi kana ye over age come on enti baby a me paki no now chese won tumi paki ka wo bi fi anim sa enti kana wo se Yebe faka no kra kokra msa tuaka because me the bagan han my car me bono na kaya yebe overturn hodun bebe 500 na shipping in so kra cost say ma enu Ghana habo because Obi adie baako ode eba na o se emia ne mene no riye se enya gudie bi ne eji ho ma we mu be 5 years ni atwam ena omo ya brantie interview na ukotie nsem a oyi ano ho a mejire se samre no kwa na onyanya adwen se oba Ghana na utie nsemu ana oka emrantie ne baba wa nyina no enya sa adwen nsemu osua bibia afri no because yaye enya dan a abusuamu omamu community nyame manipa ba ko bi pie na wamena niswadi hunu kase na nipa enya ne ho mfaso na nipa nya ne ho mfaso na se enkrofo bi kura na omo wa chichiri hu se bibi wo abrantie yi mu a na ne wanya kokoduro apie se da bi me nkrofo hunu amane he mesramo momyenjai sa otaine pesemin kuminya na yensua bibi mfra branch yo because yeka platform a obi on magan hankwa na platform na mi sua na yi ba ko say the 7 steps I or say build a network. Many are sophisticated na be catch on say baby ewiase edron say one sua bibi fa network no a obe catch because baby go catch on say ye fa twi bible nko a eni sofo no mo ntimase dia na me pem krofo a o mo nsem kan ade akansie bro alafo obi on manye sika wo kukuru dia sha won se ne nsem o be catch won na ade akansie bi abra mo won se ma me nkanya me ho na metumi aye bibi alana me catch ma so ma se me wo mfie dioso na me wadwen se me kodua koko na wo mfie duasa mo nya wadwen se wo de bibi sia fomu a na wo ye wo ankasa ho me me dua no ne sa experiment no obi oni me san bia bi o mi nim ye se me ye ne ne na me gya okura obi betumi aba beto de na me ye ne so be o mo ya bro no ya se oba eja ya ware oba pese obi ja ware otubanche onua because onua na mbona tuma oba osako wa onua banchi no besram nyamre ne enkotie emfie num a atwam interview ye no na hwe samre na oye sikodma na tie nyansasem na oka na feko.
Nana, you started off building 30 to 40 units of residential, I think I read somewhere, annually. And then you decided to build an entire city. So I want to understand how you sized up the opportunity and how you measured the risk. So what made you go for it?
Well, first of all, I started with 2 houses on 1 plot. Then it moved to 8, 12, 16, then 32. Today, my company can boldly say that we produce maybe 180 homes in 2 years. But for me, it's not such an achievement because I can still see a gap that needs to be bridged. And hence, that's what maybe you touch bases on some of these opportunities that is coming across Africa in development. Africa hasn't been developed in the past 200 years to its capacity. And we, the developers, private sectors, government, and the people even in the country as citizens, haven't actually sat back and asked yourself the question, why are we not moving so fast? Why is every other country being developed? They also haven't looked at other countries that has been developed, such as Dubai and Singapore. These are the 2 countries that has been developed in 1 century. So you're talking between 60 to 40 years. It's happened in our lifetime. And when you go after the things that they did to develop their countries, for me to want to move from building 150 homes to go into a city, it's not because I just want to increase my numbers. It's because I want to build a country. It's because I want to build a nation. I looked at those people and what were the things that they did? One of the major things that these countries did was that they introduced industrialization, which Africans have been lacking for a very long time. Now, when I say industrialization, I live in a country where I import everything to finish my houses. It takes me 3 months for them to manufacture it. Then after, it takes me another month for them to ship it. Then after it gets here, it takes me 50% of the value that I invested in Europe to get it out and send it to the site before I put it on the building. So even if I say I'm going to build 150 homes, to go through this process, and we know that we have deficits of 45 million homes in Africa, that is going to take us 1,000 years. if we don't start to build our own industrial platforms. The industrial platforms that is going to stop us from having to go all the way to Europe and buy a door and buy a lock and buy this and come back home and fit it. When we can just bring the same people here to do the same thing. In fact, one of the people here, Alessandro, who is my very good friend, and he owns Chateau, and I met him the first time I met him. Yes, we did our business and we spent close to $1 million, but I said to him, Alessandro, this is not what I want to be doing. I don't want to be buying things from you from Europe. I want to bring you to Africa with me and sit on my industrial platform. I want to invest with you so we can supply African countries for these things. They can get it in 8 days. They can get it in 10 days. The reason why Europe is developing so fast is because when you want a door, the next day is at your doorstep. Anything you want, the next day is at your doorstep. So we Africans, we have to wait for 3 months to get a door to our doorstep. And we want to develop our country without facing these issues. We really need to address these issues. We Africans, and I don't blame the government and I don't blame the citizens. I don't blame myself because I don't believe in excuses, but I believe in doing. This needs to be done. We need to convince our partners, our suppliers, our manufacturers who we're dealing with to come to Africa with us. They have to sit on our industrial platforms. We need to find ways to build energy. The rate of energy in Africa is 13%. How are we going to build it? We need it to go to 50%. We need to invest in energy so industrialization can create room for pioneering. Now we're talking about mass housing. I've already done the numbers, and I did it so well that, you know, JLL is one of the people that I work with and other companies. But when I sat behind my own closed doors and decided to do these numbers for affordable housing, you are building a home for someone for $20,000, calling it affordable, that they will never get the money for you. 1 million people in one country cannot afford to give you $20,000 because they have the minimum wage, a minimum wage that finishes before the end of the month. How are they going to pay their mortgage? We have a problem, even the financial systems, because for me to have grown this far in my business is because I didn't have to think in the beginning that I needed the bank to support me to grow. I realized that they just couldn't do it. I didn't have to think that I needed the government to support me to grow. I just realized that they couldn't do it. If they haven't done it for the country, how are they going to do it for me? I feel like we Africans are the future, that we are going to develop our own country by thinking and having a positive way of thinking, bringing people from outside to join us to develop our country, because the history of every country in this world that has been developed brought people from outside. Even Dubai, they brought the Pakistanis, they brought different people to work, to build Dubai. And then they had the biggest industrial platform, which is Sharjah. You can confirm yourself. Today, it's the biggest industrial free zone platform in the world. They had to build their own glasses, manufacture their own glasses, manufacture their own Alukobon, and it was 2 minutes drive away from Dubai. You wonder why those buildings were springing up so fast. Without these things, I think we have an issue. And I couldn't have any stage to address some of this. It might sound a little bit political, it might sound a little bit governmental, a little bit business, but it's the truth. That until we start to have this positive mind of developing our nation, our people, and thinking deep down the solution of the problem, which is the root of what is stopping our development, Africa's development still will be stagnant. And I think it's our time. The world is looking at us. We are the last continent to be developed, and we're going into the golden age. I believe that we all stand a great opportunity with the people who have come from outside, the people internal, people around, people from other places in on this continent. We all stand a great chance to build opportunity.
We need to have a positive mind and do away with that negativity. When you mean Israel, when they say be our canon, I was just obi a cancer na. When they are junior, yana. Oh, you can say obi pobia semwa. That is the chemistry. Me life won. Me call a brim. Na me such a crowd. Na me imagine say. Me you know obia. I will not blame anybody. And I can say there's no need to give excuses. and I win a year. Oh, dear Magana, young queer politicians no. Sir, we would a 2 bananka air cover before fra. What about or better say? No one here come papa, ye be free am running moon. Not original car no crowd draw and call board break here. And I speed it on or corner, I know she, and or the aquator. I told me them come back soon, you first will be you can't from Renum. Near can say one drive here, 1 year way here, and no ye can't from Renum. Eh? There's someone all can and fear no more a chum. Ultimately, say about one someone all can. Sagan Africa, yenya dream say yenya ye dear. What is man all can? Say or see that near ma obehiano. So design near money you are na or top free ilofa. Bedi saying Bosumi mienu na Bosumi mienu no. Okoyi a car or buffer near man. Due to your betiano, it's almost half of it. Are they? That means you're winning nipa war man. Politicians no. Almost winning nipa tea or man. No one the ombenya go on botomunkwa. The ombenya go on botomunkwa. As you got man or timpering for anymore, or ye in Sabanusano. Some ran a crando. And so, or see, or started dying me no. I think I'm the plot me no so. Anna or call 8, call 32, Anna or cosa. What cosa? Na me ye where you are. No, a branch here, baby, one more. Baby, wo a branch here, you. Baby, one more. All when him say, Mo papa, me menkasa kwao. Ala menkasa sa. Ye are, make na ye back a branch here be na or ye bubuania or tall a yima noa or share no say. Ah. Ebi ema ebenkrofu a wo mo wo sa ni swadi hunu enya so ma bibi keke o de ade ne ma no ana o ka kire ne se so otumi to ba ko kan ho a on fam krofo ne won be adwuma enne sa bubu ani no ono so aba be ye odefo a wa bi adwuma politicians no say enya dia okodi na chia ko yedede ama no na wa win ayia ofa ho be omumu mako eno de uta kodua no yi in America jo mama so ya de pa say bibi esia obman we mu a ya na omo bomodin na nkrofo bi de Oka no mo bebo. Oka no mo bebo. Anso yebeka. Omumu baako enye party no. Mako. Tie ahwe branch nsem a oka. Ade a ekumu oma we ya. Ema wona e wo country mu entimi ma. De ekoso wo habo. De ekoso wo habo. The Kosovo habo. A great uncle Crona, one coast school. Yadam Bunny say, concert no year. Or sick of air president, I go mayor day. Free habo. Free habo. Oh, the one near me bar. Duty free. Togo, Nico Co. Now, Odu Togo, I did Togo for why I'm celebrating Kube. Togo for here than the baby Togo. And so Togo BBC LOF Omo Habo no more. And the Ghana and so she be brave at than Temo. aba tia su kon man nsem oka hwe politicians na transi a omo nsem omo ka ye kwan be fa so mbe wini aba kwan ye mbe fa so mbe wini aba omo nsem bi okra na omo ka omo ntimi anye lay down principles we say okay you see ye be one district one factory okwa me ne be fa so and also my cancer abrantie atumi atrasia huni ye say 16 regions no ebia wa de pa bia wo ebia wo ade papa bia wo utie interview o me no ya hwese de na wo si kasa na o ti o say onte brofo onte twi omo na omo ka brofo ti say omo fra America na aba no sa brofo na ye de kwaje besia ho sa brofo no na omo niam omo kan ye no atumi ayamaye besim from afofro fa and from afofro fa o Africa as it through West Africa nyame eye bibi foforo nti wo a wonim no hwe na wan kasa wo de kalabule bia san frama no bebo ato atwene wo a wonni adwen papa na wadwen ne se kwan bia so sika bedi anche ya nkom obi ma nyame bebo wa firi kwanu mesi nyame obebo wa firi kwanu yani abirio yani abrepa adana meka se mo wadifo bia munim wo mudin na munim adifo bia na arade kan se wo wadwe yo se nkwa na o yedifo mi wadifo bi wo ho no mo a o mo nkoto ba jana mbesi ya wasofo bi o musuro nyankopon wo mo nim eni Facebook ena bia wonti wo mo kredin da enso wo mo bi wo mo ano kasa eye adwuma ana omumpe wiase anim onyam bia nso nti no onti wonka ba nyame nim wo nyame onim wo he nyame onshira nana kwa me bedi akunyame nshira pa me de odi nkanya bia bremi o efa manyose me odi nkanya bia bremi enti na menti hu jae no odi nkanya bia bremi because me has yes me hwe niema bia awrade adom waye no na se wo ye Ghana ni na watumi aye woyi a obi si abrantie na oye sofu bi kasa na ne ho asem bi ne ho asem no wonim me nti ne ho asem boni bia na metana no monka ho minim saaye me mfa atesem na ebo me bra minim Ghana fo mo awie sika ndie minim Ghana fo a o mo asesa Ghana ska agu private jet mu akwa brochire a yesi wo mekire ekwaye o munya aseska minim kura no ya ti no news nanya obi a wo hwe na brabo niema waye otimi a kire se ne dan no kwaye o fa so yase Ghana say wa ma meye sa MP na se we ya mo timi ya niema kese bi wa hase jami anwere ho ne fa dwen papa nta branti yachi mesi da biara ebeyi no asema akire no kopimre beto abana wie no ebe ka no ho ase na mrantie ne mabawa akomadwen mu amahunu se momre ni mom mexi mre we ya mom mexi mre we ya baka si anka nkire mo sa mre we ya ewo mu mom mexi na mo ye the party and me wo MPP me wo NDC kotutu ababoni na so munya na omutu wiya na o maka kire so sankrofo we no ya odi bibi kakra bi ko so mo nsem a o mu dede o mu ye ni o mbejai Emre bi obi asmo kan say the apostle here the bibi be na funu a brai na fa be na funu me jam se ma make na no kwa no make on me free kan sem we na me yesu kon ma it's a three na me hase koti sa mfie no free me free na he sa mre na mfie no medi and the Macan Radia Dumina Sambri, man, you'll be a make camano. Some ramen will be a make camano. And here, me fancy presidential and many baby a metro abamano. And I mean, Pesha soon so no baby a metro abamano, and to me, any problem be a view. Me here message be a view because my MPP. Omere is a wodo and almost makasi o maka NDC de mate de me ye nyina no se mrantie ne mabaawa ebeti ne ma bi ase se adwuma bu o mamu a abrochiri a ho nyina no system no ye good adam ne me baba ko o kasa Oyobao or cabas casia yibi. Osida ultimate late 2 minutes. So wow. Every 10 minutes piano. I said bus. Yeah, bus yeah. A buy several is handle. At the end of your government there na I jiagu. Enfidie bi on ma bekono. Na choice ya shisha sie keke ana say you ni akati tumu ni ema nyina afidie na si on no enji asimu ne ye ne ya ton ne condemn no so aye ton on beton ama omo ahu nipa ye hia obi a odi na besi fom ewo mawe ye hia obi a waso da ye na oba ye gold na brofne empam wo mo but the woman is a bossy yache enti nya 50-50 munya mo fa ye gold nungu ona mo kom baby na gold o mo tui o mo ti ase na ye tu oil e wo ye man mu a na ya so oil no na de ko baby e de beko na o mo akoso ne so na o mo asa beton amaye Enya oil, enya oil enya mi busa se. Omo tire yan se the oil na yikwan. Ya the oil na ya dear potty bi meniwo I stand to be corrected. Ti ye probia waso daye. Ye probia onim ye se me ba ade we atia ye betimi afakwa we so na ya di esio empeni fosi achia ne mui achia bebia achia ekwan ade na achia no ye betumi apagya si ne sibre na Ghana yesa akoye dadem baby abeko bia baka senka ofri Ghana no eno ko ne se yesi hu Onyame onsra anda kwa mbedi akon ane obi a odi na chibia ane obi a yesem aye ka obeti ase na oni ya adwen ye pagya oman Ghana asi on mesra o ye pani na party ya wo party panie bia na se party virus bi awura wa yimu a memao antivirus na yi virus na free system no na ye jaisa MPP ni NDC asem na to baby kura na ye hase adwene oman Ghana ho na on bayiye no bayiye a ye de ase oman yi no ya pege Ghana sinsi bre onyame won shira no one kan obi sende menyum fra brochire o se da bia me kasa me monyum nansa me nessa yi no me ba behwe Rabbi Hena, ye Bekasa, ya boss admin, about Jumla new a force no. So freedom, you know, about Jum. And Crawford has here did the American to many general. Many general. Say a party, I mean, me form party. And I don't show my gun, I must have a fair to my pefra. A quanda way and name Yuramun, a be sequem. Yan 19 Yuramubi. And I don't show so young now share Adkwart Studios. On Saka, share, we are branching on Saka. Share many paper bread. Share, way, yes, I give away say. Then I miss out. So, now subscribe, no mere bed, no so. Na debia obeti bibi afana na kwa me be diakon there be more information update pepe we am going to obeti enka bi bye bye.